Hi, hello, it's me. It's the Weasel. Oh wow, it's only been 2 days. And a lot has happened. Just a lot has happened. But yeah, hi, hello. I see Wook. Hi, Wook says it's Woosling Noodling Woking time. I mean, yes. I'm here, you're here. Which means it's definitely Woosley. And it's definitely Wookie. Um, the noodle thing comes by default. So yeah. But yeah, hi, hello, it's me, and I'm back. And I have a lot to say about what happened this morning, but I'm gonna wait until a little bit later. Um, so yeah. Alright, let me get this game going. Rook says, do tell. Just wait a little. I need people to, I need enough people to listen to my ramblings. I have so much to say, so much to think. I have so many opinions. My opinions are law. But yeah, okay, let's see. If I remember correctly, last time I was doing stuff. I was supposed to go to the. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was supposed to go to Ultra Park. Oh yeah, and I got a couple of Drifleams with me because I am pretty sure the last one I need is in that stupid island. Okay, so Ultra Park. The park of the Ultras. I need to warm up. Warming up. All through building. How was I supposed to know this? Okay, then down here. Oh boy. Hey people, thanks for the turnout. And this is only a rehearsal. I have good news to share with you. Clyde's returned to the Go Rock Quads. Yay, Billy! They're finally back together as a four-piece band. The Go Rock Quads Clyde has returned with new lyrics for everyone in Almia. Yo, music fans, a cure for your worries. I had to cool my head after getting sick from the lyrics provided by Ultra Inc. But hey, I'm back and better than ever. I met this old lady in Pewtown and she told me this awesome fairy tale. That was the inspiration I needed. I wrote this fantastic song about it. You'll get to hear the finished song with my new lyrics at our live show. The Song of Batonage. I can't wait for you to hear it. I haven't heard that in a while. Since school, I think. You have to keep it a secret though, especially from Ultra's VIPs. That's a promise to keep. Huh? What's up? Oh boy. I'm so sorry to disturb you when you're clearly enjoying yourselves. Mr. Blake Hall, the magnificent president of Glorious Ultra Inc., will now take the stage. President Hall wishes to deliver that will surely what will surely be a historic speech. Now please everyone, clear the way please. Will you make way please? You're getting in the way. What's this about? No one said anything about this. Oh, I do apologize. We would just like a little time. Well, alright then. Have you memorized the lyrics our president wrote specially for you? Uh, um, the Dream Energy, was it? Yes, of course, we got it memorized. Absolutely. You don't know how lucky you are. You get to sing our new image song. Well, thanks for that. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you today none other than President Blake Hall of Ultra Inc. He has very graciously taken the time so that he may speak to you in person. Wheeler, stand aside. Yikes! I do beg your kind pardon, sir. And now I humbly do present the President of Ultra Inc., President Blake Hall. Please, sir, your speech. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Blake Hall, and I'm the president of Ultra Inc. Our history is the history of Almia. Ultra has grown alongside you. Our partnership with you, fellow citizens, will soon reach 70 years. It's true, our 70th anniversary since founding is soon upon us. On that day, to commemorate Ultra's birthday, I will reveal a secret to you. A new dream energy that will do away with our thirst for oil once and for all. It is clean, efficient, and effectively limitless in supply. Truly, it is the energy of dreams. I assure you it will be exciting. Yikes! Super magnificent! Yes, super magnificent. I, Blake Hall, hereby promise you a bright future for the Almia region. On Ultra's birthday, we have planned a massive commemorative event. You can expect a fun-filled day right here in our Ultra Park. Please do come see the Go Rock Quads perform our new corporate image song. Fellow citizens of Almia, our invitation goes out to you. Join us in our day of celebration with your family, friends, and acquaintances. Bravo! Oh, I say bravo! Undoubtedly a bravo-worthy performance! Thank you. You're too kind. You can count on Ultra Inc. to bring a bright future to Almia. A satisfactory response. Must be going. We're behind schedule. And there you have it, ladies and gents. Our glorious Ultra Inc. has promised you a bright future for Almia. That is all. You may go now. Let me do a little advertising here. I happen to be the captain of boat service out to Haruba Desert. If you ever need to go out that way, I'm sure I'm the one you want to see. You can usually find me in Pewtown's harbor. The mood's not right for a rehearsal anymore, not after that. Want to try later? Well, that was awful. Hi Scrappy, hello. Scrappy says hi, woos. Colon 333333333. Wook says I am mad because I gave the most subs and still do not have the badge. Wook says Scrappy boy, hi. And Scrappy says hi, cute Wook. .w. Scrappy says the three ninnies together. Also, hi Stryback, hello. Stryback says hi Rick, sorry I'm late. I was watching some furries mess with each other in Minecraft. Oh, that's a classic type of stream. Scrappy says, I came a bit late too, it's all good. Also, Woke got the Dum Dum, another root beer, jeez. Thank you, but jeez. That's a lot of root beer. Oh boy, yeah. This one, I kinda want to see like what this would taste with like mineral water. Strybeck says, Anyway, Princess Peach is confirmed as Southpaw. Oh yeah, because of the whole sword thing, right? Also, I will be talking about the direct, but I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. I need to have people to discuss this with. And essentially, right now, I would probably only have you, Strybeck. Strybeck says, yep. Wook says, you said root beer is your favorite, so I will make it run out quick. Oh man, this is a monkey paw wish. I mean, variety is also good. Yeah, hold on, let me have some water. Alright, cool. Oh, hold on. Oof. See, I hate this. I moved my chair a little and my the cord on my gamepad just got tangled in my chair. Why does this happen? Ugh. Oh, you got super tangled. Jeez. Okay. If you know what they say, if something bad can happen, it will happen. That'd be Murphy's Law for you. Okay, how do I keep this gamepad from tangling in my chair? Let me just make sure the cord is out of the chair's way. There we go. Scrappy says, been wondering, can anyone get dum-dums or like, is it a paid thing? I know I'm dumb, but I never figure out how you get dum-dums. Okay, so one person per stream can redeem a dum-dum. You get them by paying with channel points, which is something that you earn by pretty much just watching the stream. Below the chat like window, depending on whether you're on a computer or like a mobile thing, you can see an icon of an egg and a number. That is how many weasel eggs you have. You earn them by just watching the stream and like occasionally pressing a button. And yeah, you can then exchange the eggs for dum-dums. But only the first person to redeem one every day can do it. So you gotta be fast. Scrappy says, oh, that's what that thing is for. I have a shit ton of eggs, lol. Yeah, that's how you get eggs. I used to have more rewards for like more things to do with eggs, but I kind of had to cut them out because they got a little bit too chaotic. Like, Shark says, have you figured out what you'll switch to when you run out of dum-dums? I'm thinking about that, but I think it's still gonna be a good year before that happens. It's gonna be a while before that happens. They were running out pretty slowly when I was streaming 5 days a week, and now they're even slower. So I'm not too worried about that just yet. But yeah, okay, so how do I go to, I think Peeltown is over here. But yeah, I used to have way more rewards. One of them was Spanish mode, which was making me speak only in Spanish for a whole hour. I removed it because a lot of people just had trouble understanding and they would just tune out. As soon as they like saw Spanish, they would just immediately tune out of the stream. And yeah, I mean, it was fun for the few people that do understand, but it was a little bit alienating, I guess. Okay, Harbor, right. Sharbeck says, one stream we had speak Spanish for an hour, redeem 3 times. Yeah, they got me like Spanishing for 3 hours. I mean, okay, but it just turns the stream completely unwatchable for everybody else. Way back in the day, I also used to have Change the Game, which was if you redeem some eggs, you can like pretty much force me to stop playing what I'm playing and switch to another game in my collection, whatever you wanted. I had to pull that one out because as time went on, I felt like I had more urgency to like play the games I was playing and finish them. And that the few times that got used was a little bit disruptive. It was kind of difficult to deal with. Are you headed to the Haruba Desert? Yes. Alright, I'm your man. My boat's moored at the pier. Scrappy says, reminded of when I joined that call on Saturday and it was just Rick and Felix speaking Spanish. Yeah, I mean, it ends up like that sometimes. And Wook says, Spanishing. We'll depart right away. Hang on tight. Dude. I think I'm trying to remember what other things I had on my rewards. Actually, I think I can check them right now. Oh boy. Let's see. I used to have... There were a few like specific rewards. There was one for Clubhouse Games that was picking out the next game that we would play. There was in the Pokemon Sword streams, name the next Pokemon I catch. Oh boy. Then we had the redeeming the co-host pass. At some point you kind of had, if you were not a close friend of mine, you had to pay to be part of the stream. Like, you know, like being somebody that jumps into my stream. No, like literally the co-host pass was pretty much paying to immediately jump into the stream, as like forcing yourself as a co-host. Remove that for very obvious reasons of it being way too chaotic. The one I still keep though, it's the emergency shutdown, which is the stop the stream. If you pay 1 million Weasel X, you can just like tell me stop. I think people have not redeemed it because they either have not afforded it yet or they are too polite. But also, I was considering on making the emergency shutdown actually mean you make me stop streaming. Like, completely. Like, I just stop streaming right there and right then. But that's too powerful. Then again, it's kind of like a social experiment, I would say. I would, like, you would think I wouldn't, but I would publicly announce on all my social channels who the person was and see, I guess, the consequences of that. But, you know, silliness. Woke says you still have the shutdown thing. Yeah, I do. I mean, it's there. It's an option. It does end up setting me back a little, but it's an option. Anyways. What was that? I heard pafoo and then a pillar of water went straight up. Oh. There's something underneath my boat? Ranger, you're not serious about going for a dive? You be careful down there then. I know the seas around here well. Let me tell you, the waters here are... salty. Laugh track. Where am I? The Sea of Waylord. How aesthetic. Strabeck says, I was about to say anyone who makes you stop streaming forever would be painting a target on themselves. I was thinking of that, but also I would say, wait, in the end it's Rick the one who decides, right? So they couldn't possibly blame the person. It's kind of like it's not a real thing. Like, I would say, thanks to this person, I'm not streaming anymore. But everybody knows that it's just literally just me, the one stopping myself. from doing it. Scrappy says, this is making my heartbeat go ridiculously fast. Why? Scrappy says, we can't have Rick stop streaming. Seriously. Holy shit. Oh boy. Huh. It's fine. It's probably not happening. Right now, shutdown only means stop today's stream. Ooh, Gorbis. This Pokemon is horrifying. This is one of the scariest Pokemon that exists. Did you see that laser? That is terrifying. Scrappy says, I'd be so damn distraught. I know I sound fake, but really, I enjoy you and the others here. Without the streams, honestly, my nights would get boring as hell. Ah, well, I'm glad. Wish I had had you, like, way earlier than this. Strebeck says, well, I'd miss your streams in any case. I mean, I know. I would probably be one less stream out of... How many streams, Strebeck, how many streams do you watch at the same time? Also, Scrappy says, exactly. Aesthetic. Okay, that is... Where is this flowing? Oh, it's flowing this way. Oh, I see something. Scrappy says, wish I was around earlier too, but I was at Dumbass before early 2022. Yeah, I can believe it. Oh, hey, it's Huntail. Nobody talks about Huntail. Have you realized that? Huntail has become one of the least popular Pokemon in the sense that nobody talks about it. That used to be... So, it used to be Pokemon like Dunsparce and Quillfish, but then Dunsparce got, popular, and then Quillfish got evolutions and new forms. So, yeah. Scrappy says, kinda wish I could have been born earlier and then have experienced the furry community early on. I mean, it's still good, you just need to find the right people to hang out with. Shrek says, usually no more than 3. Shrek says, if I open up too many streams, my internet slows down. Oh. So it's an internet thing and not like oh, my brain distracted or something. Oh man, I want a milkshake. I could make a milkshake right now, but too much sugar. I am an old man. I cannot have too much sugar at night anymore. Wook says... At Scrappy, I was here for 2 years, but just were not active before a couple months ago. Scrappy says, yeah, just glad I'm a furry now. That's good. Alright, who's going? Oh, you're Crush 1? Goodbye. Lantern? I'm pretty sure I had caught Lantern. That's weird. Ah! Okay. Shrubik says that too, but it's less annoying than a slow internet. Tackle 2, recharge 4, recharge 2. Crush 2, crush 3, crush 2, crush 2. Bye. Oh, hello. Guara Aurero. Wado. A whaler appears to be held captive. It's suffering. Sinister beams are keeping the whaler locked down. The whaler must be rescued. Rick designated the whaler rescue as a mission. Oh yeah, I can assign myself missions. Rescue a whaler. Alright, this is a Crush 3. Hi whaler, can I capture you? The whaler is sad and worried. Wow. Okay, I get it. But can I capture you? No, I can't. Can I touch this beam? I cannot. Okay, Crush 3. Who's Crush 3? That's Huntail. Stravek says I like being able to cycle between things so I don't get burned out or lose focus. Stravek says it's just a part of having ADD. I getcha. Scrappy says, damn it, I promised I was gonna crank out a bunch of drawings of species I've never drawn before, but here I am just not doing it. To be fair, waking up at almost 3 PM each day definitely makes the day feel too short. Yeah, you probably shouldn't. I would recommend, even when being on vacation, setting up your alarm early so you can make the most of the day. That's the fun thing about vacations. If you set an early alarm, you get yourself a crap load more hours to do things, to do fun things. That's my favorite part of vacations. During my July break, I did do that. I was actually waking up at 6 AM, so I could like start my day by working out, and then taking going for a jog before the Phoenix Sun would destroy me. So that's why I did it at 7 AM. And yeah, then I would have the rest of the day to just chill. Scrappy says that, and I need to go to bed earlier. Scrappy says, but I just physically can't fall asleep before like 4:30 AM anymore. My body just refuses. Scrappy says, like, if I get in bed at midnight, I'll probably just lay there with my eyes open until I notice, fuck, it's almost 5. Better sleep. I would recommend to get yourself like jump started, not as a complete habit, just to start you there. Melatonin, just a little bit, taking it like an hour or so before like the actual bedtime you want. Definitely not depending on it, but honestly, if you start with it and you start going to bed regularly, your body will catch up on its own. That's kind of how it works. I was what's the word? I was prescribed melatonin for when I was having like panics at night that wouldn't let me sleep. And that just kind of got me in the habit. Because I used to be Mr. I'm just gonna stay up until 3 and 4 AM, which I still do sometimes during weekends, but I try not to because then it just messes me up the next day. But honestly, yeah, if you can keep a good sleeping habits, your days become much longer and you have more time to do things. Scrappy says, I'll try and see if I can take your advice into action. Thanks for suggestions. Well, no problem. That's what I'm here for. First story has been destroyed. But you know, Glub, is that whaler going to really replace our sunken cargo ship? Huh? Hey, this capture machine is wrecked? Glub Glub! Pokémon Ranger! You wrecked the capture machine. I deal with vandals like you using this underwater mini Remo like this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Not this Shito. Not Todito Shito again. Not the sushito again. My favorite anime opening. Gosh darn it to all Henk. Alright, Cedra. Eat an entire ass. There you go. Shrubbeck says, I take Trazodone for the dat. Speaking of which, Scrappy says, maybe my California week trip will do something for my sleep. Doubt it, but we'll see. Scrappy says, still really don't want to go, just having a fear of missing out on, say, a potentially really good Discord call. I know that can happen, but here's my promise to you, Scrappy. I don't do Discord calls this late on weekdays, cause I gotta work the next day, and I'd rather not stay up. Now, like my thing right now is I'm trying to be like already in bed by 11 p.m. and then take the entire hour of 11 until midnight to fall asleep. But yeah. Scrappy says, don't think I'll miss any Wii streams in California since they're always in the evening, and I probably won't be doing anything. Scrappy says, actually, wait, shit, what's your time zone? I'm Mountain Time. I'm pretty much Denver time. So it's currently 7:45 p.m. for me. Also, hi, Ruggiero, hello. Ruggiero says, hello, hi. Schreibeck says, I was half hoping the mini Remo would short out and electrocute everyone. Also, hi, Danji, hello. Danji, the big cowboy bear from Spain, which is just a big mess of contradictions, says, Rick. Also, I got my TV on again, and I'm looking at a Sonic ad. They got buffalo chicken like dumplings. They kinda look fine, but I don't do buffalo things because I'm not a spicy boy. I wish they had that, but with other sauces maybe. But yeah, hi. I see Chip. Hello. Chip says hello, Weasel. Hi. Scrappy says it's not really about the time. I'm talking about the whole day. We're going to Disney and stuff, and I hope that I don't miss out on anything while we're there. I'm trying not to. Maybe. Also, Danji sent what is that emote? A pause emote from Skyfox. Scrappy says, so I assume it'll be like 6 for me when you stream once I get into California. Ruggiero says, I'm currently trying to figure out why these last days Pokemon Sleep says it took me 2 hours to fall asleep when I definitely fall asleep faster than that. It's it gets wacky. To me it works. It's just when I forget to turn on or turn off the Pokemon Go plus. Also, Chip, thanks for the sub, 41 months. Ah, wow. Chip says it's my subiversary. I almost read that word as subsidiary, and I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. Strabek says, at Ruggiero, do you move around a lot in your sleep? But yeah, hold on. I'm just closing a thing. Ruggiero says, yeah, but for the past few weeks it's fine, but suddenly this week starts to go bonkers. Yeah, I have no idea how it works. Especially because I'm not using my phone to read mine. I'm using Pokeball plus. But hey, guess what? It's a good thing. We have enough people here that I can start talking about the direct. Because boy, that was some directness of direct doom. I work best in water. What am I supposed to do if I can't even win in my element? Wait, is this a typo? What am I supposed to do? Isn't it what am I supposed to, with a D at the end to do? Typo. Oh well. Hi, Whalmer. What? Can I capture you? Whalmer's sad and worried. Oh yeah, there's still another capture thing over there. Oh, I thought I could break this trash, maybe. Alright, this way. Gorbis. Whoa. Whoa. Huntail. Wait, I need another Huntail. Damn it. There we go. Scrappy says, "Oh damn, wouldn't expect a typo in a Pokemon game, especially one made in 2000s. There's a few." Wook says, "It is not a type. That is not a requirement to say it like this." Wook says, "And me saying type is a typo." Scrappy says, "I always hear supposed and not supposed in that context. Odd." Scrappy says, "Supposed to do sounds more natural than supposed to do, in my opinion." Chip says, "First up is Splatoon 3 side order." Okay, yeah. Also, for the direct, I have a list. I actually do have my own list of all the things that were in the direct. So I can handle that, I believe. Or, I mean, because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I can bring up what is relevant. Shrebeck says, "Sometimes people drop the D in words like that as part of the dialect, but in this case it's probably a type." Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably a type because it's this is a formal game. If they were like talking about like suppose in a dialecty way, they would probably write it as spose, like S apostrophe pose. That's how you write it if you want to write it with like an accent or something. Traffic says, "I also misspelled typo as type." Okay, I am getting confused with that. Anyways, so yeah, that direct. Thank you very much for coming to my direct discussion / Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Alm streamo. So yeah, that was a freaking direct. It was the whole direct. Glub Glub? What's a ranger doing here? Are you going to interfere? Yes. That whaler was a terror to capture. I won't let you take it away. But oh hey. So many Finian. Glub Glub. There we go. But yeah, okay, so as Chip said, the first thing was Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC. I mean, as you people know, I have not played Splatoon 3, I've only played Splatoon 2, and I haven't even played the DLC for Splatoon 2. I'm leaving that for way later. But what I saw is that mode, side orders, looks interesting. Like, it actually looks fun. I mean, I do like the gameplay loop in Splatoon. But it does not grab me as much. This one did grab my attention though. The thing that grabbed my attention the most were the little color cards, which reminds me of the paint samples, like the little paint swatch cards that you can find in like Home Depot or Lowe's, that you can just take as many as you want, as seen in that one Bluey episode. Scrappy says, "Reminds me of how I instinctively spell Phineas as Phineas with an E at the end. Like, I type fast and I always instinctively hit the E. There's a couple other words like that too, but I can only think of Phineas E." Shrevek says, I'm reminded of the sequels to The Wizard of Oz, where Baum decided to give Dorothy a thick Midwestern accent despite her not having one before. Yeah, it's weird when they try to retcon things like that. Explode underwater. But yeah, I am... Goop? Bleh, it's salty. I swallowed a mud full of seawater and it's all your fault. But who cares if you break this machine? There are 2 more capture machines. But yeah. Side order looks interesting. I'll probably try it out one day in the future. We'll see. The next thing that was announced was Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Essentially a remake of the game, the original game in Game Boy Advance. That game I actually do like quite a bit. I remember playing that one a lot when I was younger. It looks great. It looks pretty good. My only worry is that it's a GBA game, and if they want to charge like $50-$60 for it, that might be a little bit of a tough sell. It's giving me Link's Awakening syndrome. I like it though. Also, this is where we realized, oh boy, are the leaks real? And yeah, it turns out, yep, they were real. Them leaks were very real. So yeah, I'll probably be getting that at some point. Maybe. Seadra is Soak 3. I don't think I need Soak 3 underwater. Okay, watch it. Watch it. Mantine. Do I need a Mantine? Hi there, Ranger. Came along to help us move this whaler, did you? Not likely. Storm will take care of things. Oh boy. Anyways, the direct was then followed by a few things that I really had absolutely nothing to say about. Just games that I don't play or I'm like tuned into. So my apologies, because I'm very aware that there's always something for everybody. And like I am very in tune with like how if there's games that I care about, so many other people are just not gonna care about them, and it'll become very apparent in a few minutes. Oof. There we go. So yeah, the games that followed were Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. No idea. I've never played a Prince of Persia game. They don't really grab my attention. There was Horizon Chase 2, which I think it's that weird racing game. Also no idea. There's Super Crazy Rhythm Castle, which I believe I saw somebody else play it before. It seems fine, but it's a little bit too chaotic for me. Woke says, I'm still worried that F-099 is a scheme to kill the series. Woke, you're going too fast. Bring up games when I bring them up, not earlier. Scrappy says, yeah, that's why I don't really watch Nintendo Directs. Actually, I don't think I've ever fully watched a Direct before. That's how much of a not gamer I am. Embarrassing, I know, but at least I'm content doing other stuff. That seems, Scrappy, that is very, what's the word? Scrappy, that's very, I'm trying to find the word for it, but it's very, I don't play games, and I'm unique. I'm a unique person because I don't play games. Because I know that's not true, but that's how it comes off as. Woke says, that was my first Nintendo Direct ever. It is not a gamer thing, it is an Apple presentation. Shavik says, I used to watch them, but too much hype gives me anxiety. That's the thing. That is very much the thing. I want... I think I made this clear. I made this very clear on Friday. But like, my general opinion is that I wish the gaming industry would just stop making more games. Would stop just pumping games out, because there's enough things out there already. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm see this discussion, aside from the usual, has a bigger meaning. But let me get to it. Strawbeck says, if that makes sense. It does make sense, don't worry. Scrappy says, oh, sorry. Scrappy says, I promise I'm not like that, though. I'm not unique. Just because I don't game would be a stupid thing to brag about. You say it's stupid? I know people who are like that. Have you seen all the have you seen all the numbskulls on Twitter that are like, you people still play games? You must grow up and have sex. Which, like, I remember that used to be quite a thing like 15 years ago on the internet. But it used to be a very bro thing, and now it's apparently a legit stance that you can be very professional about, and I don't get that. Scrappy says, and yeah, there's ridiculous amounts of hype involved too. I can relate there. That's fine. I can understand avoiding them if it's about a hype, and because these events always get so many people riled up, and it's just, I wish it wasn't like that. I wish these things were not loaded like this. But yeah, it can't be helped. That's kind of the point of it. Oh boy, we have stopped this. Let's see. Strybeck says lower release schedules would make it easier to keep up, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it would, but you can't ask that of the gaming industry, sadly. Denji says, imagine having fun as an adult. Yeah. Scrappy says, oh yeah, I don't do Twitter, but I've seen those people. The hell are they even thinking? Denji says, and doing the things that you genuinely enjoy. Scrappy says, probably just rage bait. Woke says, there maybe is enough games for people like you. There are people with specific tastes who really need some new games. I literally feel like I've run out of games. Okay, hot take incoming. I wish I had a graphic for this. I need a graphic for Rick's hot take incoming. Here it is. If your tastes in games are so specific that you are constantly looking for new games to satisfy you, and what the gaming industry is pumping out is not enough for you, and it only makes you angry, I would consider just not bothering with games for the most part, because it seems like it's not really a fulfilling hobby for you. It's more of a frustrating thing. If the most of your time involved with games comes from being frustrated at the state of the gaming industry at the moment, then yeah, that is not good for you, and you should probably not be like surrounded by that. Then again, I very much understand that nowadays on the internet it's very difficult to distance yourself from such topics, because they are pretty much virtually anywhere, and pretty much you will find that every community has at least a little bit of it dedicated to games, if they are just not completely dedicated to them as well. If it's a case of somebody who misses games from like before, games as they used to be, I would consider also turning an eye into the deeper realms of the indie gaming sphere, because I'm gonna tell you, those games are not going to jump out at you. you're not gonna find what you're looking for in big corporate presentations. Those are the kinds of games that you need to go and search for, or just actively ask for recommendations if you really have that kind of need for games. That's it. Okay, let's see. Danji did a colon P face emote thing. Scrappy says, I think I run out of games too, lol. Woke says, I am talking about indies though, AAA needs to die indeed. Scrappy says, last legit game I played was Mario Kart DS probably. I played that or New Super Mario Bros. DS when I get real bored. Trebek says, there's a point in the second Ace Attorney where Pearl tells Phoenix that as an adult he should have interests that match. That line always makes me uncomfortable. It's... That line is very justified in that Pearl Faye was raised by Morgan Faye in the in the countryside essentially of Japan, which of course they're gonna be way more traditional. So it makes sense that she would think that if that's what she was taught. Like in universe, that's the explanation for it. I really don't think it was an earnest thing from like developers or commentary. It's just a commentary that would make sense from a child raised from that point of view. Wook says, I kinda agree with you and I kinda disagree. I will elaborate later, not to waste your time right now. I mean, it's already happening. The more people talk, the more you pause the game, essentially. Wook says, and I will let you speak and talk about it in person. We don't have to. We honestly do not have to. Don't worry about it. This is my forum where I like put out my opinion. Shrabek says, I don't play a lot of games myself these days, too busy with stuff like art. Luckily, I can enjoy them vicariously through streams or on YouTube. That is also a big option. Wook says, and yeah, indies are where gold is. Scrappy says at Shrybag, yeah, this pretty much sums it up for me, except I just spend most of my days scrolling on YouTube trying to find something to watch and waiting for my one friend to call me since we call almost daily. Shrybag says, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wook says, we do not have to, but I want to. It is interesting. Another thing I'm going to set out right here, right now, is I am not here to debate. I'm not looking to debate with people. I'm just putting out my what I think out there. And personally, me that I know myself, it's very difficult for me to change, for somebody else to change my opinion, because I do feel like I inform myself plenty that you can't really tell me something I don't know in regards to like concepts like those. Because goodness, you should know how much like gaming industry critique stuff and like different takes I consume from all sides, believe me. But I have nothing to do with this knowledge. I just kind of splurt out my opinion and just throw it out there, and hopefully it will resonate with people. Wook says, I just want you to talk about that game you were excited about. I'll get to that. Anyways, Glub, I might have lost that battle, but you can't beat me at steering a Mantine. If you can't get around the Quillfish while riding a Mantine, you can go home now. Don't like what you're hearing? Try and catch me then. I'm not going to. I'm trying to figure out where to go now. I'm pretty sure. Wait, no. Okay, so I'm probably gonna need one of these. If they said that. Ah, that was easy. I think I've leveled up way lots since the last time I caught one of these. And also seeing the experience points I was given. Anyways, okay, so what other game came up? Something called Spy Anya Operation Memories, which was like a super weeby game thing. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. So, after that, they gave more info about Super Mario RPG, which, I mean, yeah, that's a thing that's coming. To be perfectly honest, because I played Mario RPG very recently, I don't think I'm gonna be picking that up. Probably in a few years, maybe, but definitely not soon. If I had not played, Super Mario RPG, the SNES one, oh, the other side is blocked, impossible to go through, then yes, I have to go this way. If I had not played Super Mario RPG, I would probably go for this one, but sadly, because I played it, because I had no idea it was getting remade, I'd rather not have to repeat that so soon. So yeah, that's a pass for me, for now, at least. After that, that's where the spicy thing came out. The thing that pretty much made me just, oh, hi Quillfish. Oh, are these like mines? Okay, you gotta be really careful. These are pretty much landmines. But yeah, so they called it another code recollection. So how do I explain this? How do I start this? So back when I was in high school, and I had a flashcard for my DS. I'm not afraid of talking about that because, come on. So I was a young kid with not too much money, so I couldn't afford to just buy games all the time. So I managed to get myself a little flashcard thingy for games for me to try. Ouch. So I guess they are true landmines. I mean, not landmines. These are not in the land. These are water mines, I guess. Whoosh! Ah, crap. Oh, I was trying to get over there. Crap. Okay. Chip says, yay, flashcards. Sharvik says, sea mines? Can somebody, like, tell me what these things, like, what the mines that are in the water called? You know, the ones that are, like, held by chains and that they put there for submarines to trip on? I don't know what they are called. Oof. Okay, I think I got it. Excellent. I made it. Oh, Chip says naval mines. Yeah, so that's what the quillfish are. That's the function of the quillfish right there. Okay. Where was I? Oh, Strybeck agrees. Okay. So, where was I? So, yeah, I was in high school, not much money, had a flashcard. What did I do? I pretty much tried games. There's a very long pipeline that led to me finding a little game called Trace Memory. I think it started with... So I was on the internet and I found like some funny things about a game called Phoenix Wright. So I got that game and I played the games that were... No, I remember now. Okay. Does anybody remember on the Wii the Nintendo channel, which was like this thing where they had videos, where they had trailers. They had trailers for games. And then they had also like videos. I think I remember what was the name of that show? The Nintendo something show with Gary and Allison. Was it the Nintendo show? I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, so they had a bunch of things over there. And something really amazing that they had was DS demos. On your Wii, you could download demos for your DS. And I remember pretty much downloading every single demo that got put up there because, again, I had no games. This was, I think, before the flash card. So I depended on the Nintendo channel for my demos and stuff. And yeah. Hold on, let me do this. Globo, you made it through riding a Mantine? You cut up without using a mini Remo? Unbelievable. I know when I can't win. Bye bye. Okay, bye. Oh boy, there it is. It's over there. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a long story. So, on the Nintendo channel, I checked the demos, and one of the demos was for a little game called Apollo Justice. Which I didn't know it then, but it was like the 4th game in the Ace Attorney series. I just downloaded it by itself because it looked interesting. So I tried it, and it was really fun. Like, I had fun with the demo for Apollo Justice, and I said, what is this? So I looked up the game, and that's where I learned there's 3 other games. So I decided, okay, let me try the others. So let's say that I tried the first game on my computer. I demoed it on my computer. And I loved it. And I played the second one, and I played the third one. And then I played the other one. So yes, I became like a big time Ace Attorney fan. If anybody doesn't know, it's one of my absolute favorite series. I just love the Ace Attorney games. So, at some point I pretty much asked on the internet, okay, but what other games are there? Are there any more games that are like Ace Attorney? And there were a few recommendations, because it seemed like the fandoms were kind of interlinked. So, the most common recommendations were games from another developer called Sing. C-I-N-G. Rest in peace, by the way. So, they had a few games under the label, I think. Let me check. Sing Inc. developed games such as Hotel Dusk, Room 2015, which was one that he played and I absolutely loved. Again, a little weird, really weird little game. Last Window, which is the sequel to Hotel Dusk. And another very important one, a game called Trace Memory, otherwise known in Europe as Another Code to Memories. I remember pretty much, getting Trace Memory, so I could like check it out and see, okay, how Ace Attorney is it? So I downloaded it. I got to try it, and I just absolutely loved it. It was this little, very charming game that was kind of like a very well fleshed out demo for the DS itself. It was kind of like a very good tech demo, because it used pretty much everything on the DS. It used the 2 screens, the touch screen, the microphone. It even had one of those puzzles, like the one in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. The ones where you had to close the DS to solve the puzzle. It had one of those. It was one of those. It was pretty much a puzzle game that had like pretty much everything. And it was a charming little story. It was about this girl that goes to this island and then has to like solve a mystery. But like, it's an extremely liminal game because I think for the most part of the game, it like this man goes and drops her off at the island and is pretty much just like good luck, and the man just stays in the boat, I think. So she just goes around a pretty much almost deserted island, except with like there's like a mansion in the island, I mean. And she just has to explore the whole thing, and it's just lonely as hell. It's just a mansion full of puzzles that she has to solve to figure out like what the heck's going on. And I just loved the hell out of that game. It was just really fun. Bye, Luminian. So I have very good memories. I had very good trace memories of that game. Who'd have thunk that a game about memories would leave me with some really good ones? Okay, so these are cut 3. Oh, did I read this? Oh well. Scrappy says, I remember the Nintendo channel existing, that's all I can say, didn't use it back then. Yeah, it was a concept. Also, hi Conan, hello. Conan says, hello Rick and everyone in chat. No one. Hi, hello. Chip says, Sing Kring. No, Sing was a very, very good developer. I would call them like even criminally underrated. I think the problem is that their games were not like ultra bestsellers, like Nintendo would like. Their games were like cult, like pretty much almost every single game they made was an absolute cult classic. Nothing really like exploded from them, and that's a damn shame. They didn't make that many games. They made like 8 games in total, and they were most of them for the DS and the Wii. It was a damn shame. So when the company went belly up, back like what 2010, I think. It was really freaking sad, because their games pretty much got lost to history. It was like, okay, so the games are like, these properties are gone. Like, there's not gonna be any more sequels. What are we doing with them? So we consider them, the fandom in general, we consider these games just absolute, like, sad relics of the past. Also, as they mentioned in the direct, the sequel to Trace Memory on the Wii never got released outside of Europe and Japan, which, yeah, bad. And I thought I would never play that game. I mean, I could always, you know, just kind of make it work on my Wii, but I never got around to that. And now that I think about it, I probably, that was for the best. So yeah, the answer here is that Trace Memory is a game that is very important for me, because it brings me like memories from. It brings me memories from high school, and I don't know. It's nostalgic. That's something I can genuinely call nostalgic. And now that I see these games actually coming back, and like for more people to try out, I'm just excited. I'm just generally excited. Cut. Okay, where was the one that was cut to? Actually, Soak 3 is useless. Bye. I may need another one, actually. Chip says you could never get away with releasing a game in only Europe or America, but not both these days. Yeah, I mean, it's not a thing anymore. It is not a thing anymore. That's one of the few things that we can thank the modern game industry, but I think it's not because of them. It's pretty much because of, you know, the global culture now. You can't get away with leaving games unreleased because people will notice and they will ask. Also, I think it's less complicated and less expensive to release games globally nowadays. Unless it's something super niche that like nobody's gonna play, then yes. In that case, it's justified that you may hesitate to release some games. Oops. Anyways, Trace Memory, aka another code. Very good games. Hopefully you get to try them. I'm definitely gonna get them because I missed them. I don't even remember much of the story now, which is a good thing. This is why I don't replay games, because it allows me to experience them freshly later if they do get re-released. Will I stream them? I'm not sure. I think because these are fairly like nostalgic experiences and they're pretty much visual novels and puzzle games. I'm not sure if they would fit in a stream concept. So maybe not. I'll decide when it comes out. That's January, I think. But yeah, wow, that was a long diatribe. I'm sorry about that. Crush 4. Where the heck am I gonna get Crush 4? Oh, my night. Okay, after another code, they finally showcased Princess Peach Showtime. I am actually interested in this game. It looks fun. To me, it looks like a multi-genre kind of thing. Because it looks like it's kind of like a platformer thing, but then it switches into a detective thing, which, I mean, it could be a whole part of the game, or it could be just like a small part. Like other games that get into like experimentally non-combat things. This reminds me a little of one specific chapter of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which was not about battling, but about solving a mystery. So it gives me vibes of that. Also, I don't know. Isn't the chef part that they showed, the pastry part, like mini games? It looked like mini games. So there's a lot of things going there. Some people on the internet, I heard, they called it Balan Wonder World, but good, which is ouch. Yuji Naka cannot defend himself. I'm so sorry for the man. I mean, he did his stuff, but like now they're just gonna clown on him, and he probably has no idea. Chip says Peach Showtime is sort of Kirby. It's Kirby-ish, but I think it's doing its own thing. When I saw it, Kirby was not the first thing to come to mind. Like, at all. I saw it as its own thing. Okay, so I gotta find these. I'm thinking maybe it has to do with the metal grades. That's where Starmie comes in. Conan says, question about direct top 3 announcements. I will give my top 3 when I'm done talking about the whole event. If I don't do it, remind me, please. Okay, where am I? Oh boy. Glub glub glub. Wait, are you maybe that ranger from a cargo ship? Yes. I thought so. When I bailed from the ship and swam for shore, the bosses saw how good I swim. They forced me into the marine unit. I missed life on the land. It's all your fault I have to do this. Gorbis is one of the most terrifying Pokemon in existence. Because it does this suck. Wook says a lot of games, including free ones, are unreleased in many places. I wonder why region ban at online marketplaces is allowed to be set by developers themselves. It is bad when government bans a game, but sometimes just steps do that. That is even worse. I try not to get unreasonable about this because a lot of people are like, oh, I wish they did this thing. Why don't they do it? It's so easy. So many people have no idea what's involved in the development and release and marketing of games, to the point where releasing games in unviable markets can actually cost them more money than is worth, than what they would make in return. The maintenance of servers and just like of releasing things is just it's complicated. I know so many people will say like, oh, it's their fault because they didn't market this game right, and that can be the case in many cases. Just not having faith in a game causes it to underperform itself. But like, you can never know what's gonna be a hit and what is not going to be. The market is an unpredictable thing. It's so scary. It makes no sense at times, and I would be afraid to be a developer for those kinds of markets. Out of the water or under the water, I couldn't win either way. Okay, bye. Oh, I already have a Huntail, so crush. Conan says very well, Weasel Boy. Wolk says, so yeah, games unreleased in regions is still around. Yeah, it does happen. I mean, right now there's an example that I want to talk about, and that is, right now there's a few mobile games that I'm waiting for, excitedly, that I want to play, but the developers have only early released them in some regions. There's a few games that release first for some region in places like Australia, the Philippines, Scandinavia, of all places. I think they are like testing in smaller markets to be able to like check for bugs and be able to fix those before releasing the game to a wider audience. I completely understand that. But it's, I don't know, it's this whole thing. What the fuck? Right. Also Conan says suck eel. Yeah, Gorbis do give you the ultra suck. Gorbis gives you the suck of your life. It gives you the last suck you will ever need, which is an awful thing. Why am I saying this? I think... Oh, I get it. Okay, so I still have the other Starmie. I think I need to... I still need a... There's one grate that I need to break. And it's this one. Don't touch me. Okay, but yeah, that's my opinion. Princess Peach Showtime looks fun. I might play it. I might stream it. Who knows? It's a mystery. Damn it. I feel like this game can only be played if you're very fast at drawing circles. Okay. I think this is the other spot. Yeah, I think this is the other. Okay. Alright, what was after that? They announced something called Saga Emerald Beyond. I am familiar with the Saga series. I've never played a game in it. Doesn't seem like it's my thing. I am very good at predicting when I will like something or not. Very rarely I'm surprised. I think it's because I know myself and my tastes well enough that I can prejudge. I know not always. I shouldn't always do that. But when I know I won't like something, it's not me putting like prejudice on a thing. It's just I've seen enough of this thing to know I would probably not enjoy playing it. It's just something that helps me. I feel like it's a good skill to have that saves me money and time, but mostly time. Why did I go into that diatribe? Okay. After that was Tomb Raider, the 1 to 3 remastered. I've never played one of those games, but also they do seem like something else that I'm not like really into. Not my thing. Really glad for the people who like those games. That wanted to play them again. It sounds like fun, like a fun thing to have. Globo. So you're the reason why the capture machines are going down. If you shut down the last one, this whaler could go on a rampage. That could wipe us all out. Will you save it anyway? Yeah. Okay, you're forcing me into doing this. I won't be responsible for whatever happens. Chip says, I'm glad they let you use the old or new graphical styles. Oh shit, a boss. It's always good when they give you the option. Oh shit, what is that? I don't like this Seadra. Alright. Gosh darn it. Nice, okay. Scrappy says, I have that thing too, kinda. I can see something and immediately tell like, nah. Sometimes though I try it and enjoy it, but usually not. It's a property, I think it's a personal skill that you kinda have to fine tune. Little by little. By trying more things, it's funny, but by trying more things, you get to tune it even better. If you stay stuck with the same stuff and be like, I've always only played these 5 games, this is the only things I like, yeah, you're limiting yourself. By playing more things that are like just kind of like related to the things you already like, you can start to notice if there's new concepts, new ideas, new settings that you also enjoy. And you just start broadening a little bit and refining your interests much better. And yeah, you can be like, oh, I played these 3 games were related to this one game I like. I played all these 3 games and they all had this thing in common. I've decided that I don't like this thing. So yeah, you can learn about things you don't like. It's very useful. It's very good to fine-tune your likes by trying a lot of things. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about things I don't like. It's silly. Glub 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 glub. How am I supposed to explain this to my boss? The sea was too salty. Isn't going to cut it as an excuse. Okay, bye. Alright, what comes later? After that, they announced Detective Pikachu Returns, which... Okay, first of all, I haven't even played the first game. I am trying my damn best to find a copy. Currently, the first game goes for like $25, which is not bad, really. I'm just kind of broke at the moment. It's not a priority. It should be, but it's... I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll bite when I am like... Maybe in November or December I'll bite when I have more funds and I can like afford making little $30 purchases. Because right now, not justified at all. I cannot just make random $30 purchases. It's not in the cards. It's money that I do not have. That's why I don't buy mini games. After Detective Pikachu Returns, which, I mean, it looks fine, but it looks kind of outdated. I was expecting a Detective Pikachu game on the Switch to look way nicer than that, but it looks kind of meh. And you would think they would put more effort into that series considering how well the movie did. So, I just don't understand. Yeah, after that, they announced Trombone Champ. Not a surprise, but I guess I had forgotten about that game, which was a thing briefly on the internet. It was meme game flavor of the month. I can definitely see it having more of an audience on the Switch though, and they introduced all these wacky control schemes for it. That's fun. I would like to try it, but I'm probably just gonna put it in my list and maybe get it if it goes on sale. Not right now. I could also not make an entire stream out of it. I don't think so. Maybe a variety stream. If I can accumulate like 2 or 3 games that I can't make full streams of, I can maybe just compile them all together and make one stream out of it. That sounds like a good idea. But yeah, Trombone Champ, funny. Might get it in the future. All the capture machines have been destroyed. Yeah, that means Wailord is free. It took me way longer because... Oh, get it? It took me way longer. Wailord. Guararo. The Wailord was set free. Free Wailord. Guaro. The Wilmer is delighted. I can't do my pose underwater. This will have to do. The Whaler become friends with Rick. Whaler was registered in the browser. Oh, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't have to capture a Whaler. I mean, how does that even work? You know good do-gooder Ranger. Oh boy, they're all here. We're going to be in a heap, glub glub, of trouble, no thanks to you. We'll have to improvise, glub. We'll try to convince that guy that this Whalmer's the one. Isn't that thing too small? It's not much of a replacement for the cargo ship, is it? It's a state-of-the-art Wailord Mini. It offers tight handling on small corners. Maybe you can brave it out with a Wailord of a tail like that. Globo, globo. That's a brilliant idea. Whoa. No! That's the game plan. Nab that Whalmer. Bye-bye, Ranger. No! The baby. Whoa. Oh boy. There he goes. Oh boy. Where am I? Rick, this is a surprise. I had my suspicions about this place. Didn't think it'd catch your eye though. And you rode in on a Wailord? What's that? You just happened to arrive because you were chasing an abducted Whalmer? Well, I'll be. Anyway, after we split up, I did some more investigating. I found the helicopter that carried the shadow crystal. I chased the helicopter and it led me all the way here. Ultra Inc.'s oil rig is sitting above their undersea oil field. I heard this place had been shut down. Guess I heard wrong. This undersea oil field needs investigating, but the stench of danger is strong here. Stronger than anything so far. This time I'm serious, I need your help. Yeah, I know you've been ordered to the desert, but this is a shot at breaking this case wide open. Can't afford to miss this one shot. Stick around, kid. Voicemail, it's Van here. I'm at Ultra's undersea oil field. I have Rick with me. Let me borrow Rick as a partner for a short while. I'm declaring this place to be top priority for investigation. Clear that with Chairperson Irma for me. Hurry it up, will you, Linda? Right, sorry, I meant to say read me, darling. Thank you kindly, read me. You tell Chairperson Irma that I thank her for her wisdom. The union cleared it, we're partnered up for this. But here, let me recharge your styler. That'll do it, let's move. You can just do that? Chip says free Whaley. Yeah. Okay, what comes next? They announced a bunch of games that I have no idea again. Like something called Battle Crush? No idea. Something called War Tales? Again, no idea. Contra Operation Galuga? Galuga? Also, I mean, I know about the Contra series, but definitely not my thing. So, yeah, nothing to say on that front. And then Unicorn Overlord. That is such a ridiculous title for a game that looks nothing ridiculous. But also not a game for me. I apologize for coming here without warning. Terminate the production of the Mini Remo unit soon. Shift the staff over to our main project. See to those 2 items on the agenda. Consider it done, boss. That also goes for the fine personages of the Sinis trio. The design data of the incredible machine will also be deleted shortly. It's been a great honor to have you visit us. Boss's helicopter is something else. These high winds aren't giving it any trouble at all. I wish we had helicopters like that. I hear you, but helicopters are too small for transporting Pokémon and Giga Remo. Our diving team needs to catch a Wailord soon. That will make up for the cargo ship we lost to the Rangers. The Wailord capture can be left to the Sun Marine unit. I have other news of interest. The boss made a promise to me. When the incredible machine is completed, I will be promoted. There's an executive position waiting for me at headquarters. When that day arrives, I'll have you rotated to headquarters as well. Enough, back to work. Seems to me this is Dimson's secret base. But what did they mean by incredible machine? What's that about? Rick, are you ready for this? We're going into the enemy's hideout. You rescue the abducted whalemare. I'll investigate this incredible machine of theirs. Try to uncover the secrets of this base, and if there's a chance, destroy it. That's our mission. Oh boy. Let's move. Chip says Unicorn Warlord claims to be the return of tactical fantasy RPGs. I don't think they ever left. Yeah, me neither. RPGs have been pretty much unchanged for years. Who attacked me? Oh. I don't need a Staraptor, but I guess. Sure. Anyways, definitely not my thing. After that, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD was announced. And a few things caught my attention. One thing is that they call it Luigi's Mansion 2 instead of, you know, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. which is what it was originally called in the 3DS. Also, I already had Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on my 3DS. It's a game I actually never got to finish. And for the longest time I was actually planning on streaming. Sadly, we never got to that point. It sucks, but I am hoping that once I get my 3DS with video capture back in order, I can do that. Chip says it was called Luigi's Mansion 2 in PAL regions. Yeah, but I mean that's what they called it in the American Direct, which makes it weird. So yeah, I am not getting the new one, and I'm just gonna like stick to Dark Moon, which I have. After that, it was a really weird announcement. They announced their freaking Nintendo Museum in Japan. Mission: reveal the hideout secrets, which is like something not many people would be able to go to. I mean, sure, if people want to like plan a visit, sure, I guess. But oh, sorry, I got distracted. I was drinking water, actually. That was not a distraction. Hydrating is important. Okay, can I drink my water after catching this? Thank you. Chip says they should have just split the difference and called it Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon. True that. Anyways, I've said what I think about that. After Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and Nintendo Museum, which is, I guess, it's gonna be a thing. I'm guessing that's the reason why they removed the Game Boy. You know, the Game Boy that is partially destroyed in the Gulf War that they had in display at Nintendo, the Nintendo store in New York. They removed it from there. I'm guessing that's where they're taking it, to the Nintendo Museum. But yeah, whatever. And then after that, they had Amiibo news, which I found just absolutely hilarious. Like, these are our Amiibo news. Okay. Oh shit, I forgot I have a bunch of Pokémon. Wait, where am I? Did I go down? Did I go down or did I... Where am I? Oh, okay, hold on. This is... Okay, this is go up. This is go down. Okay. Okay, so I go down. Then I... This way. Scrappy says, hearing about the Nintendo Museum reminded me of the Seiko Museum. They moved locations at some point for whatever reason. They had their reasons. But yeah, Amiibo news, meh. They mentioned the Tears of the Kingdom Amiibo, which I guess if you collect them, I don't, so meh. And also the Sora Amiibo, which I think would be the very last Smash Brothers Amiibo. So for people who want a full collection, there you go. I only got a few of those though. Chip says, ooh, an underwater base. Yeah, this is very Bioshock of them. Also, I think they announced Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Amiibo, which, meh. Big meh. No thanks, I don't need Houndour. No thanks, I don't need Houndoom. Electrify, I don't have anything that electrifies. Oh boy. This generator is powering the trap in the corridor. It must not be turned off. Okay, noted and memorized. I sense a sinister presence. Ranger? 2 of them even? I was just going over maintenance notes for myself. Pretend you never heard me. Otherwise, they'll give me the boot from Team Dim Sun. I want their boots. Okay, I never heard you. How about some mime for your trolls? Chip says my collection will be complete. Well, great, if you do collect them. That's good. Gosh darn it. Wow, this little bugger is hard to catch. Oh, I think they do set like invisible walls that I should really not touch. Oh, this is really annoying. I hate you. Damn it. Danji sent the boot emoji. Thanks. That's not my boot emote though. But yeah, thanks. Oh, the next thing that they announced was fairly interesting. So how do I go about explaining this? Yeah, I know. Electrify. Oh, this is where they make the mini Remos. How it's made. My champ. Oh, teleport? Nah. Ah! Luxio. Oof. Whiny bitch. Okay, but yeah, the next two announcements, they announced a couple of League of Legends spin-off games. I consider all these League of Legends games, the spin-off ones, to be very good. I don't think I need to explain and mention that League of Legends as its own original, like its own like game, is not like a great thing. But yeah, League of Legends is kind of I don't know, it's a game that is hard to get into, and like its community is famously extremely toxic. Oof, okay, maybe I should have saved Raichu for later. Yep, should have saved. I'm gonna need something to recharge with. Okay, I need a recharge, Pokey. I should have saved Raichu. Also, this is just a Crush 3. Wow, that's boring. Okay, Crush 3, Electrify 2, Electrify 3. Whoa, Houndoom. This is Electrify 2, perfect. Okay, so earlier, I think it was some months ago. It may have been a year or so, let me check. I played a little game on my channel. A little game called, and by called I'm trying to find it. It was a little game called Hextech Mayhem, a League of Legends story. It was a little very fun rhythm platformer that I played in February of last year. Or was it June? Something like that. Thanks, Luxio. And it was just a complete blast. The songs were just great. The gameplay was a little bit harder than I would have liked, but it was still very much a fun time, and I was able to finish the game in 2 hours. It was a fun experience. Chip says Hextech Mayhem. Yeah. So they announced 2 more like League of Legends games, which were Bandle Tale, and Song of Nunu. The one that got my attention was Bandle Tale, because it seemed like it's a cozy little like farming game with Yordles, which are like the cute little like fuzzy creatures from the League of Legends universe, with notable species. Well, no, I mean they are the species. Notable specimens such as Teemo and I mean Ziggs himself. I think Ziggs is a Yordle. So yeah, I don't know. I have a thing for Yordles. I'm not like super like obsessed with them, but I mean this game is gonna be full of them, and apparently it's so fucking cute. Cause in Bandle Tale, it happens in this little town where everybody's obsessed with knitting. Everybody's obsessed with knitting, and oh my god. Okay, I just saw the thing. It's happening. Remember people, the thing that I keep saying, oh, it's gonna happen and I'm gonna have to step away from the stream for this. It's officially happening. It's happening next week. In 1 week time. Next Thursday, that's when I'm just gonna fly. I'm just going to be like, okay, I need to go for the thing. So be warned. I'm actually willing to maybe I'm probably gonna see how things go. Maybe cut the stream short in a week. We'll see. Wook says, yeah, that was a great rhythm game. See, I'm glad you appreciate it. So you can tell that not everything League of Legends has to be shitty. And I mean, they proved their point by making all these side games. They are aware that maybe the lore of their games is not like super approachable to everybody, but they still want to explore it. That is something I wish more developers did. If you have a particularly dense setting, you should definitely bank on spin-offs. Just a multitude of spin-offs. Pokémon has been doing that just fine. Not to the extent I would like. Like, there's way more concepts that I wish they explored. Berry Farm. But, you know, you work with what you have, I guess. Yeah. So, I feel like in the near future, there's gonna be a League of Legends story game for pretty much everybody. If they keep with these efforts and they, like, you know, do venture into many different genres. My ultimate dream, I think, is for Twitch, you know, the Plague Rat from League of Legends, to get his own game. I would absolutely love it. Whatever it was, whatever genre they chose, I would play the hell out of it. I mean, I already played Zig's game, which was Hextech Mayhem. That one I played because 1, I already liked the gameplay and the music, and 2, I mean Ziggs is cute. In fact, Rugito did draw me as dressed up as Ziggs for my birthday a while back. Oh hey, while back. It's a really cute drawing. I don't have it at the moment though. I think it's my laptop. But yeah. Chip says, in quotes, a complete blast. Yeah. Okay, that was a pun. Wook says, easy for me, but not in a bad way. Wook says, in a good way, like it gives you room to express yourself. Yeah, that's a really like interesting thing about Hextech Mayhem, that it was not just like play the cues in exact order. There was room for the game to like to do extra cues for extra points. And it did it in a very interesting way. I never got that far because I'm not really good at like super complex games. But yes, definitely a winner, I would say. Chip says, in quotes, the thing. Yeah, the thing. Wook says, Twitch will surely get it. He is one of the most famous characters. I feel like that's not true. He's popular with furries. And only some furries. But like in the overall League of Legends community, I don't think he even cuts like top 20. Because, I don't know, he's a rat. He barely has lore. Believe me, I've checked. As somebody who has had to roleplay as Twitch and with Twitch, I had to do my research. And there's not enough lore. There's simply not enough lore of the rat. I would very much welcome a game of him. I would throw my money for a Twitch game, honestly. Jeez. Chip says Twitch puzzle game where you have to mix chemicals. That is my freaking pipe dream. If you made a Twitch potion simulator, well, more like poison simulator, and like you got to use the poisons and things, I would be the happiest weasel ever. That's my dream game. But yeah. So, Bandle Tale, excited for that. Probably will not stream because I don't think people will care about that. Hey, you intruders! Jolteon, get them! Jolteon? I don't have any memes. I don't have any memes about you! There's no memes about Jolteon. There's memes about Vaporeon and Flareon, but not Jolteon. What do I say about you, even? Oh boy. Oof. There we go. Chip says Jolteon is highly incompatible. Yeah. Okay, after Bandle Tale and Song of Nunu. Song of Nunu looks cute, but not. It doesn't have characters I'm interested in. They brought up WarioWare Move It again, which, I mean, you already know I'm excited for that. Very, very, very excited. WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Wii was one of my absolute favorite games on the Wii, top 5. And this looks to be a sequel. I mean, don't get me wrong, Get It Together was fine. It was a fun romp, but it was not what I expected out of a WarioWare experience. It definitely was enough to keep me like satisfied for a while, and I was not expecting another WarioWare game so soon. But this one is completely welcome, and I'm getting it as soon as possible. And you're seeing it on this stream in a very special stream. What am I supposed to do now? What are the procedures for this? Well, you just don't do anything. Oh boy. Ta-da! After WarioWare Move It, which I'm excited about, they mentioned Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Again, no idea. That one kind of got mixed in the sea of RPGs. Eastward Octopia. It's apparently some kind of DLC for Eastward. Not a game that is in my crosshairs. So, again, not my thing. Wargroup 2. Another game that I have no idea about. Dave the Diver. I did hear about this one. I think Roscoe was playing it at some point. I heard enough about it to say that I probably wouldn't be interested. Jeez, another one? we go. So, yeah, David the Diver. Glad it's coming to the Switch for people to play. Not my thing. Then they brought up the Mario Kart Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 6 and Knuckles, which is dropping in the holiday season. The last one. How time flies. Remember when we said, oh boy, there's gonna be 6 waves of this stuff. Yeah, I guess that's done. Could be fun. Ooh, Mothim. That's another Pokemon you don't see often. I want to meet the person whose favorite Pokemon is Mothim. They must be super interesting, and I'm not being sarcastic. They legit must be really interesting. Uh-oh. Oh no. There we go. Chip says Diddy, Funky, Pauline, and Peachette. Chip says my only disappointment is no Nabbit. I am firmly in the camp that Nabbit is kind of a niche character. Not like the one with the biggest fans, but I do feel like Nabbit is above. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh, that is wacky. Okay, sorry. Again, another very weird ad that I just saw on TV. Very, very weird ad. I'm gonna try to find it. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it on chat, and you tell me what you think about it. But yeah, it's an ad I saw on TV, and I'm like, the hecky. You know what? I'm kind of enjoying this concept of having the TV on the background, cause I'm like doing my own thing, streaming, and then suddenly something really wacky and weird. Holy shit! Is that an ad for a VR game? Of course, the Meta Quest 3. Fuck you. Yeah, okay. I'm posting the commercial now. It's like 1 minute long. It's a weird commercial. That is odd. That is an odd thing to see in a commercial. I will let you know. But yeah. Now, as I was saying, Nabbit probably would have been a better option than Peachette. I have no idea what they're doing with Peachette. What's their concept? What's their like goal with it? Like, the hecky are they doing? So, I would have wanted many other characters instead of some of the ones they picked. Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. Alright, it's your time. Okay, now you can attack me, Luxray. Oh, this one is also whiny. I forgot Luxray was also a whiny Pokemon. Also, kind of fun. Did you know that Luxray is also one of the most popular Pokemon to TF into? I don't know why. I find that very interesting. Oh, also a Pokemon that never stays in one place. Jeez. I lost my power. There you go. Hold on. Chip says, despite being a major playable character in a new Super Luigi U and Wonder, yeah, I mean it's a whole thing. There's so many characters in the Mario series that it's really hard to like put them in tiers of importance because at any given point Nintendo can just go and like, oh, this Scream Blow, whoosh, we're pushing them to the top. We're giving them their own game. Screw like anybody else. Yeah, it's a gamble. You never know who they're gonna favor next. And then I posted the ad. Wook says, I do not see where it is wacky. It is just boringly quirky. It's it's I don't know. Chip sent like the three what Rick emotes. Chip says, women, weddings and social events. Men, Comic Con. Yeah, it's like I found it weird how they made an ad for like a skin condition um drug, and like they put on like freaking a Comic Con thing. It's weird. I found it weird. Like I was doing my own thing streaming, and then I look at the TV and I see that and I'm like, what am I looking at? And then I saw it was an ad. So like, I guess a con. Um, Scrappy says I can see that too. A kind of forced look. We're so hashtag quirky and hashtag random. Chip says, as someone with red scaly skin, I envy the normal people. Oof, yeah. I know quite a few friends of mine with skin conditions, and my goodness, I cannot fathom how they go on with their lives. Because, yeah. This machine appears to set dark shards in cases. Ah, this is the factory. Well, I got my... Damn it. I guess every time I'm tuned into the TV, you're gonna see me find weird ads. That's the new thing. Okay, but back to the topic of the Directo. Um, they just announced one of the courses, right? Daisy's thing. The one with the statue of Luigi and Daisy, basically confirming them together. It looks fine. I don't remember how that course used to go. The characters, they're fine too. Diddy Kong, fine. Funky Kong, fine. Pauline, surprising, it's fine. Peachette, that's not fine, but meh. Wook says, at Chip, my brother in goose skin? And Chip says, eczema. And Wook says, ah. Okay, nobody invited you, Houndoom. Go away. I like dark types, but I don't like them that much. Okay, can you disable this now, please? Thank you. So after that, they dropped a flashbang. The direct dropped a freaking flashbang by throwing a Mogus on the direct. Like, what the fuck? I mean, that's fine. It's justified. It's a game. There's new content coming, so obviously, it's fine. It was weird. It was weird seeing like an Amogus animation on a direct. Oh well. I mean, the fact that that was not one of the most popular things people brought up means that, okay, it has kind of sunk out into like the general zeitgeist, and it's not like pulling people out of things. It did not ruin. I don't think Amogus ruined their direct for anybody. Also, it's cute. They finally did it. It's finally Fungus Amogus. Scrappy says, I had some nasty eczema, specifically around the back of my hands for some reason several months back. It's long gone now. I really hope it doesn't come back. Chip says, I think you can count the last 4 tour exclusive tracks to be included. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait until they come out. Chip says, a fungal, a mungle. Yeah. The burst of electricity made the power generator stop. Thanks, Luxray. Bye, Luxray. You whiny lion thing. Alright, map. Yeah, I need one of these. Thank you. But yeah, and then we lead to the very last announcement, which was the surprise one last thing of Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door, a remake. It's not a remaster, they're not just like upping the graphics, they clearly rebuilt the thing. And was not expecting it. I mean, I don't think anybody was expecting it. Everybody had just given up on those things. It looks really pretty. It looks really pretty. It seems like they're using the Origami King engine, and it looks fine AF. It's not. It looks fine. It looks fine. Capital F. Okay emoji. 100 emoji. What is this thing? A vending machine? Where's your nap room? Do you have a nap room? You shouldn't be snooping around. Cacnea, attack them. Okay. Where did you come from, the black boy? These Cacnea from the void. Oh, that was clever. They like caught me. Wow. Chip says, "Damn, you looking fine." Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. But yeah, no, really nice looking game. If anybody has not played it, this should be your chance to do it. Personally, I will not be getting it right away because I streamed that game in this channel a while back. It's been recently. It's been less than 5 years ago. So no thanks. However, I will be playing it. I will be buying it and playing it in the future. Who knows when? In the future, probably when the eShop on the Switch is dying and I need to make my final purchases. That's probably when. Whoa. Sorry. Chip says, I've been wanting to play Paper Mario 64 again. Yeah, that's something we were discussing when we were watching this. That we feel that maybe Paper Mario 64 would have been the better choice to remaster and redo. Because that game, like, needs it and deserves it. Urgently. That game needs the Origami King treatment. 1000-Year Door is a good way to start, but I feel like they skipped something. In the same way when they didn't remake Partners in Time, I was really weirded out. They're kind of doing that here. Same feeling of you're missing something. By skipping right to the good ones, quote unquote, I don't know, you're leaving gaps there. But yeah, let me walk away peacefully, please. Yeah, sure. go away. Ooh. Underwater tube. What, Whalmer? Oh, they just pushed Whalmer through the door. But yeah, I wish they had done Paper Mario 64 as well. Not complaining about Thousand Year Door, it looks nice. And I hope Super Paper Mario gets the treatment too, although I doubt it. Because not many people hold that game as fondly as the first two, sadly. Oh boy. But yeah, at some point. So, somebody, that was Conan, wanted me to mention my top 3 announcements. I'm gonna say in first place, which is AK game I really want right now, that'd be another Code Recollection. That's my first pick, top pick. I want that, I want it badly, I can't wait. Now, in games I want to play in this, technically, there's WarioWare Move It. However, that was not an announcement. That had already been announced. They just updated the audience, the public, the masses on it. I'm not counting it. I'm only counting things that were first announced here. That would be, I think, Bandle Tale. Why not? Bandle Tale is a fun one. I'm excited for Bandle Tale. And I guess Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but I would also pit Mario vs. Donkey Kong and Princess Peach Showtime on third place. They are tied for third place. Because both games that I want to play, but I'm not sure if I'm streaming. WarioWare Move It is like a game that I really want to play, and I'm definitely streaming. And another code is a game I am dying to play again. Not sure if I'm streaming. And Bandle Tale, I am excited to play. I am excited. I am more excited than Mario vs. Donkey Kong and Princess Peach Showtime. So yeah, I guess in order of announcements, it would be another code in first place, Bandle Tale in second place, and a tie for Mario vs. Donkey Kong. And I guess Princess Peach, although they did announce Princess Peach Showtime before, so that was not a fresh announcement. Then I guess, yeah, third place Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Ta-da! There it is. The Whalmer's in here then. I'm exploring these floors some more. Rick, you deal with the Whalmer. We'll split up for the time being. I wonder what this little hole is for. This hole was definitely not made for me. Well, I'm going this way. Oh shit! Ambushed by a freaking Houndoom. Ambushed by a Houndoom. I say ambushed by a Houndoom. Overall, it was a very strong direct for me. Many people called it mid. Well, I think they are mid. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Woke says, I am mid again. Yes, you are. What do you want? I'm bored with assembling Minaremo units all day long. You'd make a good change of pace. What? Okay, that's a weird combo. Why would you put a big Trubel and a Mothim next to each other? They feel like natural enemies. Maybe not as much as a Viper and Zangoose, but they don't feel like they belong. Chip says, I'm quite pleased by the direct. Yeah, I got stuff I wanted. Many people got stuff they wanted. And they should. Oh boy, here comes the annoying part. People should be expecting less of these events and just play the things they already got and not create an unsustainable bubble of hype around them. It's inevitable though. Wooks feels insecure. I mean, you said it. I didn't say it. I mean, I said it back, but you know, you said it first. Vulk. Three cheers for the new Dream Energy. Goodbye to oil. Ah. The machine performs quality checks on mini Remo units. All of these? Oh, the mini Remo manufacturing program is running on this machine. So I can't break them? Well, then again, they did say they were stopping production on the units. Oh, so my job is done for me. Whoa. There we go. Scrappy says, Woke, no, don't be. Woke says, it is out of your control, Scrappy. Woke says, I am feeling very secure about you. Okay. I am so tired of freaking Houndoom. Okay, next room. Say, bro, who might this be here? What, you can't tell from the outfit? What we have here is obviously an actor from an action movie. Well then, bro, can you tell me this? What's an actor doing here? You know, it's one of those things. They're on location. It's a film shoot. There's a camera somewhere capturing this unfolding scene as we speak. Oh yeah, what's the movie? Bro, tell me, what's the movie called? What else could it possibly be? Pokémon Ranger versus Team Dim Sun. These guys, I feel like these guys rehearsed this bit for the longest time. And I feel bad for taking that away from them. So I'm just gonna let them roll with the bit. Sure. Oh my gosh, this Honchkrow will not stay put. Holy shit. Okay. Stay put. Stay put, damn it. Stay. Yay, okay. Scrappy says, oh geez, but I guess if I can't do anything about it, then I can't. Sorry to hear you feeling insecure though. Scrappy says, I care about y'all really. Aw. Say, bro, we lost that match, but we will be starring in a movie, so it's all good, right? Yeah, if they don't cut our scene. These guys are silly. Capital S silly. There's something sussy about that vent. Oh boy, match him. Ah! Beware of skunk tank's gas. Keep nose pinched on entry. Okay. Oh, door's locked. Okay, I guess not going in there. Dustclops. I like Dustclops. Oops. I got too cocky. Almost level up. Psi Power 3, which means I don't need Psi Power 2. Okay, let's go this way. Another Magneton. I could use this one and catch that one. Yeah, why not? I guess that's why you don't. And instead you recharge until you release. Oh boy, Houndoom. No, not Hunter. No, thank you. It looks important. Chip says I should mention that I saw Blue Beetle yesterday. Oh yeah, I was supposed to ask you how it was. I did recommend that you watched it. I don't think I recommended it on stream, but yeah, Blue Beetle is a fun movie, but I feel like you only get the most out of it if you know both English and Spanish. And if you're Mexican. If you happen to be a Mexican that knows English. Because you should only watch it in its original language and probably not dubbed version. But yeah. It's an interesting movie. The guard is practically asleep. He must be exhausted from overwork. The guard is practically asleep. They are all asleep, standing up. Nobody's like guarding this thing. Wow, look, graphs. Woke, thanks for the clip of I need this clip for possibly something. Good, do not ask. Okay, I don't know what the clip is. Chip says, I managed to pick up a decent amount of the Hispanic stuff thanks to what I've learned from you. Oh well, glad I've been of help. Glad everything we've done was all in order to be context for a movie. For one movie. Wook says, I cannot explain why, but this clip maybe will serve for good. Wook says it has no funny in it. Okay. Okay. Right. A machine for analyzing the components of oil. It is being used for something else. The sea is outside the portholes. The facility is beneath the waves. The Fury region is displayed. What are they eyeing? Eyes emoji? What are you doing? I got blueprints for the incredible machine from this mushroom boy. Oh hey! Help me, Rick. It's me, Isaac. This guy's roughing me up. Oh boy. You creepy rangers, you're not getting off lightly. Oh boy. Mimes? No, not Mimes! I hate Mr. Mime. I hate it so much. Stop. 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 I can deal with one. I will not deal with two of them. I don't want that. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh, thank goodness. Also, hi, Felix. Hello. Felix says, hello, people. Just people. Like P-E-O-P-L. Hi. I hate to admit it, but I'm outclassed. Professor Isaac waited for a chance, didn't make a break for it. Rick, you know this kid? Of course we know each other. Rick and I are fellow graduates of the Ranger School. Rick became a ranger and I became a scientist, but we are liking working hard. Whoa, so what's going on here? How does a Ranger School graduate end up working in Dim Sun's hideout? We're smack in the middle of their hideout. There's no time to chat. We'll take this kid back to the Union. Professor Hastings will be happy with this catch. Really? You'll let me meet Professor Hastings? I'll go. Please, take me. Wow. I don't mind working here because there's plenty of books and the people are nice. But the Ranger Union, its appeal is very strong. If I can lose myself in research, I'm willing to go anywhere. This kid is, different. Oh boy, this kid is in the spectrum. But before I leave, I'd like to say goodbye to Mr. Kincaid. I think I owe him that courtesy. Mr. Kincaid should be on the bottom level. Would it be okay if I go say goodbye? Well, why don't we all go together and pay this Kincaid a call? Courtesy and all. The bottom floor, you said? Oof. There are many books on oil. Developing undersea oil fields, the geology of Almia, oil for affluent living, the history of Altru Oil Co. There are also books not related to oil. Probing the minds of Pokémon, Encyclopedia of Rocks and Crystals. Oh, I thought this shelf would have something different. These are reference materials for oil field development. Almia's worsening energy shortage, petroleum composition table, output histogram, washing tips for removing oily odors. Silly. Oh, same stuff. Felix says the E is silent. Alright, got it. It appears to be an oil well drilling game. It says game over. What? A calendar is displayed. A single day is marked as commemoration. The PCs are all locked down. They can't be operated. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. I knew it was a good idea to come this way first. Oh crap! Guess what? There was one thing missing from the Nintendo Direct recap I was using as my guide. Apparently, I completely missed F-Zero 99. Weird. It's not in this list. Well, what do I think about F-Zero 99? I'm just gonna say, wait until tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow. Ugh. Intruder spotted! Someone grab that ranger! No way, I'm not as tough as I look. You go! When it comes to being wimpy, I got you all beat. Alright, I'll go. Nah, why me? This one doesn't look like an ordinary ranger to me. I know, let's apologize. Sorry. We got the ranger's confidence. Charge! Slack it? Like 8 slack it? There you go. Conan says, oh yeah, the F-Zero fans' disappointment. And then 5 sad emotes. Oh boy. Conan, you're gonna have to stop right there. Because anybody who is um anybody who's reacting negatively to F-Zero 99, while I understand from a point of like being a fan and wanting a new game in line with like the last ones that came, instead of a re what would you call this, a recontextualized version of the first game. I think you people are being too rough on F-Zero 99. You people are being very, very, very rough on it. It's complicated, but I will say, don't do that. Chip says the very fact F-Zero got any proper recognition is earth-shattering. I mean, yeah, that's one point. I mean, it's one of those take it or leave it situations. Felix says it's a similar reaction that with Metroid's multiplayer thingy for the 3DS that nobody bothered to play. I mean, I wouldn't say nobody. That game was actually in my list of games I wanted. Mostly because it's just its own thing. Also, it turns out they put a bunch of lore in that game. So, who knows? But yeah, the thing is its own concept. It's a spin-off. It's a spin-off. And I mean, it should be treated as such. It's not an obstacle for your franchise, it's a spin-off. Wook says, I already told what I think about F-Zero 99. A really great idea that I want, that will probably be the series. That will probably be the series. Oh wait, and then we'll correct it, we'll kill the series. Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. It's an old game that has been recontextualized for a new era of games, for a new audience, and it's pretty much a testing ground because it's free. It's a free concept. You can't possibly be complaining about a free game. If you don't like the concept, don't play it. If you would like to try it out, well, there you go. It's part of the NSO plan. You can give it a try. I'm pretty sure every now and then Nintendo offers 7-day trials for NSO. This is where you can just literally just pull out a trial, check it out, see if it's your thing or not. It's simple. You play it. You like it, you keep playing it. You don't like it, you stop playing it. That's it. Felix says, considering they have dozen other IPs they are ignoring, the mere fact that they are acknowledging F-Zero existed is a win. I'm sure they had their reasons, or somebody at Nintendo came up with a really good idea at some point. They were probably brainstorming on what do we make into the next 99 game. Because, I mean, you may or may not be aware, but Pac-Man 99 is shutting down next month. So this is pretty much going to be the replacement for that. In the same way that, Pac-Man 99 was the replacement for another game that I can't quite remember at the moment. Conan says, with a crying Rick emote, okay, I sit down. Thank you. Chip says, this gives me a modicum of hope that Star Fox will get recognized again. My take is that they won't pull up Star Fox until they have a really good idea for it. That's how I feel they approach things. If they don't have an idea that they are confident in, that they can A, deliver, 2, develop, 3, market, they're not going to go for it. Wook says, oh yeah, if they do Star Fox, I hope they hire Platinum Games again. I mean, I already said my ideas on how I think Star Fox would work as a modern series. But again, I don't work for them. My ideas mean nothing, and I'm not gonna get my hopes up waiting for something that may or may not come. It's just not even waiting. Waiting for something that may or may never, like, may happen or may never happen is not healthy. And you should probably be focusing your, like, everything on something else. If you get what you want, great. But, like, just waiting for it is not going to solve anything. Scrappy says, imagining if they stronglify him like crazy. Oh yeah, imagine that. Felix says, grain of salt. Felix says, Miyamoto won't use Star Fox until they can figure out a Switch-oriented gimmick. I mean, not anymore. The Switch is on its way out, so not even that. Also, it doesn't have to be that way. I'm not sure how it works for them. They managed to make an excellently developed Pikmin game with Pikmin 4 without gimmicks. Just the core concept of the game somehow. So it depends on their mood, I guess. Conan says, at least is one idea that didn't become another Mario game. I can give them that. I mean, I have no idea why it would be a Mario game. You couldn't possibly make Mario Kart 99. I feel like they may have had that idea on the corkboard for a moment, and then they said, wait, no, F-Zero. And that was their perfect excuse to bring that series back. Because they said F-Zero has always been about bigger races with many more, many more racers involved than any Mario Kart game. So obviously F-Zero is the answer for we need a crap load of players. That is a game that originally already involved a ton of players. It seemed like the perfect fit for a 99 game. Felix says, just make Paper Star Fox ? No, I mean it's not what they're looking for. It doesn't go. Felix says, or Star Fox Blaster training akin to crossbow training. Again, I feel like that's more suited as a spin-off of something. So if there's no main Star Fox game first, there's not gonna be any spin-offs. Felix says Pikmin 4 is what it is because of the director Yuji Kando knew what to do with it. Felix says Miyamoto literally told him to do Pikmin 1 plus Pikmin 2. Yeah, so it depends on their internal politics and what works for them and what ideas they have. No sense in trying to somebody very wise once told me it's almost it's a fruitless endeavor to try to understand what goes through Nintendo's mind, like what their process is, because they've proven time and time and time again that they are just absolutely unpredictable. And even when you think, oh, predictions for what they're gonna be doing if they go this way, they just pull a 180 on you and do something completely different. Nintendo is anything but predictable. So yeah. Sorry. Darn it all. We'll have to use brute force now. Yeah, do that. We have 7 on our side. We'll shove the ranger out, all of us. On 3. 1, 2, 3. The ranger's out of bounds. We won. Lock the door so the ranger can't get back in, ever. Get chunk. And that's that. Well, that was surprisingly effective. Get chunk. Oh yeah, I get it. The room's ugly with a mess of dim sums wasting space. Remember the chroma ruins? We could do the same here. The revoltingly rancid but scientific method to dry them out? A scientific method? Rancid but scientific sounds very fascinating. From a scientist's perspective, I should say. I have to warn you, it smells rancid in this room. My scone tank, as cute as it is, lets loose when the mood strikes. I'll unlock the door. Hold your breath. Felix's executive meddling, colon V. I'm just gonna say, why is it always the Mexican boys in this chat that have the worst takes? I feel like you guys need like game development courses on how this stuff actually works, so you can learn not to complain about things that are clearly more complicated than you think they are. Scrappy says, hey, they acknowledge that Skuntank is cute. And then a mischievous colon 3. Ook says, Skuntank time, my favorite boy. Felix says, yeah, I took college courses about that. And yet you complain about very, very shallow sides of the gaming industry. I don't understand that. The lockbot is engaged. Keep your nose pinched. Smelly! Oh jeez. Oh man. Okay. Almost. There we go. Woke says, what you consider shallow might not be so to others. Again, I do think that people have very narrow views of all these things, and they do not consider all the aspects involved, both the technical and the there's a lot of strategies, and there's so many factors to consider. It's just too hard. But at least I try to have a more whole picture of why things might be, instead of getting unreasonably angry just because I'm not getting what I want. Felix says, is it shallow that the development of a game changes courses completely because higher ups have a particular vision about it? It's shallow that you think it's as simple as just higher ups saying yes or no to projects, instead of seeing the whole picture and wondering why or what their strategies might be. It's more complicated than that. Wook says, and it is a lesson you taught me, so ye. Who do I get rid of? I can't believe I'm stuck with 2 Drifleams. I'm gonna say Machamp because I can just get another one if I need one. It's a control device for the oil field. It does not appear to be sinister. Does everything have to be sinister here? Also, hi Distra, hello. Distra just subbed 42 months. Wow. Distra says 50 minus 8. Yeah, that is 42, alright. And he's gonna stink it up. Stinky. Huh? What's this Pokemon doing? What's this Pokemon's name? Wasn't its gun something? Oh? It turned away to shake its bottom at us. Well, isn't that cute? Boo! Burp! It got me! Whoa! My eyes are burning! Thanks, Contact. See you again. Ain't that cute? But it's wrong! Oh my gosh, I had not referenced that in a very long time. Conan says fart SFX and the lol. This fart needs more reverb. Okay. The trick we played on those guys earlier was a gas, sure. But I don't know, aren't we going a bit too far? Oh, this looks like a big puzzle. Oh, that's right, Mr. Kincaid's quarters are at the back of this floor. But there are 3 sections laid with electrified floor panels in the way. They're powered by separate generators. You can't get through this floor unless the generators are turned off. Oh, great, teleports. No, wait, not teleports. Switches. Fascinating. So, what the heck is happening here? I'm guessing this opens the red doors and closes the blue ones. Lux Ray. Sounds useful. Oh boy. Damn it. Okay, that hurt. Felix says Ren and Stimpy? Conan says it's super effective. Felix says no. 2 stupid dogs? Yes, that's it. That's it. Scrappy says 2 stupid fingers. And then, oh boy. Apostrophe, comma, semicolon, period, semicolon, apostrophe, comma, period, semicolon, apostrophe, period. I don't think this recharge is warranted yet. If there's a lesson I've learned, it's that Sceptile is a Pokemon for sure. Okay, I need to open blue. Should I catch the Sceptile? Okay, what if I need to use the Lux Ray? No thanks. Huh, Professor? They've taken you prisoner? I'll save you. Okay, this is good. I see the generator back there. Skuntanks. Oh boy. Stinky. Okay, almost ready to recharge. I don't know what's what anymore. Too bad. Whiny lion. And it stopped. And goodbye. Alright, now I have space for Sceptile. Don't touch me. Oh boy. Somebody's hangy. Sceptile has cut 3. Wait, how close am I to leveling up? No, not close at all. I thought I could probably get away with maybe not having to reload. Okay. Oh, these are not down yet. Okay, hold on. I can do this. I need to go this way then. This is less complex than I thought it was. Arcanine! It's time at last. The fat Arcanine is upon us. Oh boy. The Messiah. The Messiah is here. There we go. Chip says fat. This one is not fat. Oh boy. Okay, it's time, I think. Felix's feet. Professor? Did you betray us? I don't know what's going on, but it's my duty to protect the generator. Oh, okay. This is the game that pretty much used up the stylus for this stylus. I'm gonna have to get a new one after this. I think we got this stylus in like a Wii U like screen protector kit, and we had never used it proper until now. And now I've just like worn it down so hard. Mothim is being a bitch. But I'm almost done. The good thing is I feel like I did plenty of progress today, despite how long it took me. You might have stopped this one, but there are other generators. Oh, it needs electrify. Yeah, that. Oops. Ba-ding. All right. Cut or cut? Bye, Umbreon. You might stop. Yeah, I know. Hold on. How did I go from like underwater to a random base and I still have not gotten to the freaking desert? This is silly. What a silly, silly game this is. Okay, I need to... Where are you two being so mean to the dim sum people? I'm a bit perplexed. Yep, definitely in the spectrum. Alright, now I need to go that way. Don't step on the thing. Well, now I'm gonna need the recharge. Ah! Oh boy, why do I feel like I've talked today more than other days? Not necessarily in content, but oh boy. It will go deeper. The Wilma has to be down there too. Yeah, I know, but this Honchcrow, it's scaring me. I don't need a Honchcrow. I like Honchcrow, but not right now. Gigaremo's gone out of style. Heavy, big, and antique for a while. Mini Remo's where it's at. Light, high performance that falls flat. Gigaremo was made by a scientist, an old school ultra elitist. Mini Remo's maker is no hack. His name rhymes and it's... What's the idea of bugging me when I'm rapping in our factory song? Right. Oh crap. Machamp scary. There we go. Wook says this stream is packed in a long one. Lots of thoughts, topics, and takes. Probably too much for Whis to handle. Yeah, to be fair, I don't do this too often. I like discussion, but I don't know, it tires me. This is tearing me up. You're tearing me up, Ranger. Okay, ah, fuck, a Luxray? Bring a Luxray to your stuff. Bring a Luxray, I forgot. A Luxray. Oh, jeez. You know what? Something that does make me sad is I wanted to play Dreamlight Valley today. No time. No time to play. Because morning was direct, and then my daily games, and then lunch, and then other stuff. And then I went home, and then I had a different type of fun, and then I ate, and then I checked a couple of things, And then it was streaming time. And now after streaming, it's now it's time for sleep. So after this, I'll be going to Sleppies. Goodbye. I hope I don't need a recharge. Damn it, Honchkrow! Oh, this is a... No, I refuse. I'm sorry. I don't have time for this. Okay, Luxray, do your thing. Oh boy. Okay, I'm out of here. Oh, please wait. That door there, down, is the emergency exit. It leads directly to the top deck. After I bid farewell to Mr. Kincaid, I'll unlock it so we can leave quickly. Hey, you're that ranger from before. But why the professor too? Well, the Whalmer should be with our boss by now. You're too late. Hold it, don't go for your stylers. We finished our duty. I'm in no mood for a fight now. We lied and claimed that the Whalmer was really a Wailord mini. I wonder if they figured it out. I could use a relaxing vacation. Maybe climb a mountain. That sounds good. Okay. I think yes, I'm gonna bring a Magneton with me. I have no idea what that boss could be. I am so tired. Blink. But yeah, apparently I leveled up and I barely noticed. Oh crap, I forgot to save. Save, please. Saving. Saving. Alright, this looks like a final thing. This corridor screams final. Vicemail. It's me, Keith. I called you about the Jello Gem. You remember it? Big crystal, yellow? You're my friend, yes? You take care of it, okay? Okay. You see, friend, I remember I have another important mashup I must do. You come to Haruba Desert now, please. Hurry, right away. Question marks? Keith? He said mashup instead of mission. What, is he joking with us? Is he showing off over becoming a top ranger? I can't tell what's going on, but you better head out to the Haruba Desert. Once we rescue the Whalmer, of course. I wonder... This is Kincaid's quarters. You ready? Let's introduce ourselves. Conan says I'm heading to bed. Thanks for the stream. Have a good night, everyone. Ooh. Okay, bye. Have a very ooh. Waru. Let me drink some water, jeez. Okay. What is the meaning of this exactly? What compelled them to capture a Whalmer? Oh, no, Captain. That isn't so. According to the Dimson Marine Unit, this is not a Whalmer, it's a Wailord mini. The only thing mini here is your brain. You allowed yourself to be taken in by such a pathetically obvious lie? This is nothing more than a simple Whalmer. You honestly thought that this tiny thing can take the place of our cargo ship? So they were lying about that Wailord mini. No wonder I didn't know any Pokemon by that name. Well, wait until you find Mega Whalmer. I can't even work up the energy to get enraged over this. I've never been lucky with subordinates in my entire career. My promise to take you to the HQ with me? Don't expect that to happen now. Who's there? Why don't they just evolve him? Just evolve the Whalmer, forehead. Conan sent wow, a Pog Shark emote. A bitter shark, I don't know that one. Conan says, okay, thanks, Rick. No, thank you for working on the things that I need. But yeah, please tell me you're reporting that a real whaler has been captured. What? Not you again. And Professor Isaac too? You're going to kidnap Professor Isaac? Oh no, Mr. Kincaid, that's not true. They're not kidnapping me. No, sir. They invited me to the Ranger Union. I'm going to get the chance to visit the research lab. Mr. Kincaid, you remember, don't you? It's Rick from class next door. Remember? How could I ever forget what that ranger did to our cargo ship? You beheaded ranger? That data disk in your hand, that contains our blueprint data. What is the meaning of this? Not only the professor, but our design data as well? Don't just stand there, you buffoons. Take it back from them by force. Yes, sir. Whoops. Take back the blueprints for your incredible machine? It'd be incredible if I let that happen. These guns are mine. You deal with him, Rick. Oh boy. Gliscor. Uh-oh. One sec. Conan says, oh right, it should be ready for this Monday if everything goes according to plan. Okay, good, I'm hoping. Alright, let's try. I'm gonna say this. I don't like this. Okay, it slowed it down. It did work. It works. Okay, that hurt. It worked very well. I can't believe I finally learned to use bubbles. Oh boy. I'm guessing I shouldn't touch it. Okay, that's scary. Okay, this Gliscor is annoying with capital A. Stay still, please. Jeez, okay. Okay, why do I keep touching the mud? Why do I keep touching the tackle? Why do I keep touching the mud? Okay, that's bad. Stop doing that, please. Why do I touch the mud? Rick, stop touching the mud. Okay, I think I need to... Okay. I need to slow you down. There you go. You slow bitch. That's the power of Poke Assists. Scrappy says, I swear it's like every time I'm doing something, something else has to happen that just so happens to be related to what I'm doing. Coincidences are everywhere. Really? Chip says, don't touch the mud, touch the weasel. Yeah, you know, when it comes to weasel, touching is good. Damn. Foo foo foo. You shouldn't up far too late. I don't say this out of spite either. The incredible machine in those blueprints is already 99% complete. When the boss switches on the incredible machine, Team Dim Sum's future will shine with the colors of darkness. I made it all possible. Dim Sum's future is built on my sacrifice. I did it by posing as the Ranger School's teacher and recruiting a boy genius. Yes, a genius of the sort that comes along once a century. That boy genius is Isaac. For that achievement, the boss has finally promised to make me an Ultra Executive. Badoom! What was that? Did a fighter hit the rig? It's a Wailord! A Wailord is ramming our base! A Wailord? Is it trying to destroy our base? I'm abandoning the base. I have too much at stake. I'm a man with a destiny. I'm too much of a man to be drowning down here with the likes of you. My underlings and Isaac. I wash my hands of you. Swim your own way out of this mess. He has a sphere? Captain! No, don't jump. Warrow. Jump. Mr. Kincaid? The incredible machine? It's not a machine for promoting friendship between Pokemon and people? Oh my goodness. You baby. You're the genius, right? You're the genius. Everything's ruined. That brat of a ranger beat me. The blueprints were taken. The professor's lost to the Union. It's tiny in here. And my ears are ringing. Whoa. What? You Wailord, stop that. This isn't a soccer ball. Oh, that's done it. Our captain ends up an underwater clown. Glub glub. We've never had much luck with our bosses, have we? Glub glub glub. Warrow. Stop, please spare me. I haven't taken my seasickness medicine. Bye. Couldn't have gone better. I'll put out a call to have area rangers rescue the Pokemon left behind here. I obtained the blueprints. You rescued the Wailmer. Not just that, but Professor Isaac got to say goodbye to Kincaid. That about wraps it up. Mission clear. Lol. Still, it's too early for celebrating. That incredible machine of theirs is almost finished, it seems. Time we don't have. We'll go topside through the emergency exit. Have to get a voicemail out to the Union. Rick, you need to vent. I see. Sven, that was an extremely important report. So, Ultra's undersea oil field had become Team Dim Sum's hideout. There's simply no way that Ultra Inc. could not have known about that. The link between Dim Sum and Ultra, Kincaid's relationship with Professor Isaac. The truth behind this case remains locked in deep darkness. Not really. Incidentally, I understand Professor Isaac has suddenly become downcast and quiet. I imagine he is finally coming to understand the reality of his situation. We urgently need to speak with him. We need him here. By the way, and I apologize for doing this over the voicemail, but you are now certified to Ranger rank 8, Rick. Yay! Scrappy says, drawing a bat, then a Gliscor comes up, whom sort looks like a bat. Yeah. Promotion. Promotion. Power charge with another level. Keep charging after the first charge to get another power level of power. That's good. You're to continue your mission concerning the yellow gem. I'll escort Isaac back to the Union and do some planning there. Rick, you go on to the Haruba Desert and join Keith. I'll take you there on my boat. Okay. Let's go. I'll let her rip at 60 knots. This game is incredibly silly. Oh wow, sandstormy. The sky is as yellow as can be. Oh my gosh, are we in Mexico? Pretty bad sandstorm. I've been to the Haruba Desert often. This is the worst it's ever been. I'm off to the Union with Isaac. Rick, you take care. Good luck. Don't just leave me here. I need a ride back. Welcome to Haru... I'm so sorry, I got sand in my mouth from the storm. Welcome to Haruba Village. A sandstorm in the Haruba Desert isn't rare or anything, but it is very rare for the village to be hit by a sandstorm this bad. Them Pelipers, them Sudowoodos. Oh, I want a Sudowoodo. But I don't think I can... Okay, I am not doing that yet. Oh my gosh, are we not done yet? Oh wait, I think we are. There's just like Hypnote Pokemon here. This is the village. With this sandstorm, it's impossible to do any business. Okay, I just need the ranger. Okay, it's over there. I'll explore this town next time. Oh boy, plot. Get your delicious coffee here. How would you like some of our tasty espresso with a dash of grittiness? Do you put sand in the coffee? Get your delicious coffee here. Oh boy, you too. Daddy? The trouble with this coffee maker is how noisy it is. Oh, and how it makes the coffee smell like oil a little bit. Now don't quibble over the little things. You're getting espressos in the sticks like this. That's miraculous enough as it is. Get your delicious coffee here. Oh boy, with a splash of oiliness. Okay, this is very, very silly. Yeah, we should probably break that thing. Well, not yet. I'm gonna come in here and save, and next time. Oh, can you charge me? All done. Okay, that's it for now. That was a lot. That was 3 hours and a half. Goodness gracious. I did want to make enough progress tonight, considering I do want to finish this game soon enough. But that was a lot. That was a lot. Felix says tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow is gonna be something new. Just a one-off for funsies. Wook says great stream, many words, many thoughts. Yeah. Oh, let me get the Pokemon stuff out of the way. Boop. And a weasel. There we go. Chip says this was a dance stream. I know. And it was, I feel like I did more talking than actually playing the game. So what I did could have been done in like 2 hours. Woke says sleep tight, comfy wheeze. Yeah, I think from here I'm just going straight to bed because I need to catch my 6 hours of sleep. Scrappy says, phew, quite the long stream, but it was a good one nonetheless. Well, I'm glad you think that. Wish. Also, Scrappy did them smileys, colon and 3 parentheses. Oh boy. Chip says, nighty night, Weasel. Yeah, thank you. I'll be back tomorrow with something completely different. So yeah, thank you very much for coming. Scrappy says, nighty night, Nini woos, get a good sleep, and also before I forget, hug for the cute Scrimlow woos, colon 3. Thank you. Where's my not quite blushing but sort of in the same playfield? Thanks. Thanks for hugs. Alright, that's it. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good night, have a good evening, afternoon, day, morning, or whatever you have on your side of the planet. And I'll be seeing you again very, very soon, I hope. As in tomorrow, if nothing happens. Alright, this was Rick, that Weasel that you know, signing off for now. Okay, see ya later. Bye.